gathered here on the traditional territory of the signatories to Treaty 7, and I'd like to acknowledge the Métis people of Alberta. Ifran Sabir, MLA for Calgary-Bhullar-McCall and NDP Justice Critic. I'm Kathleen Ganley, MLA for Calgary-Mountain View and Energy Critic. It was no doubt a stressful night for many in Calgary. The trauma of the 2013 floods still lives in many of our memories. And seeing the flood warnings, road closures, and heavy rainfall brought back a lot of those memories. I know many of us were watching the downpour of rain last night and thinking about whether we have enough measures in place to protect Calgarians' homes, belongings, and businesses. We need to make sure that the level of loss we saw during the 2013 floods will never happen to Calgary again. There is an important role for the provincial government to play in that preparedness. And frankly, watching the rain cascade across my window last night, it's a difficult place to start from. We saw that with the handling of the 2020 hailstorms. The cabinet is depleted, distracted, and divided. Several ministers have quit to chase their leadership ambitions. Calgarians deserve to know they can trust the government, and right now, they don't feel like they can trust the UCP. Much of my riding of Calgary-Mountain View borders along the area that is at high risk for floods. So today, I'm asking the UCP to provide 3 things that will help generate peace of mind in those communities. First, we need to see real-time public briefings on the status of the situation as it evolves. Much of the positive feedback on the handling of the 2013 floods by local governments centered around the mayor's transparency and non-stop communication with Calgarians on what was happening as it was happening. Second, we need to see provincial assets for flood mitigation provided to the city, such as high-volume water pumps and temporary flood barriers. This was something we invested in when we were in government as the NDP, so we know that it can be done. Third, we're calling on the UCP to develop a provincial contingency fund for impacted municipalities to draw from to help with emergency mitigation and evacuation should that become necessary. Across the province, we're seeing the effects of more and more natural disasters like flood and fire. Our help to the government. If we're included in briefings, we can ensure that our constituents are informed, many of whom have faced these natural disasters before. To speak more about that, I'd like to turn things over to my colleague, Ifran Sabir.
Thank you, Kathleen, and I echo my colleague's sentiment that Calgarians are worried about how their government will show up for them should we see another natural disaster in the city. Still now, 2 years after a devastating hailstorm ripped through Calgary Northeast, many residents are still waiting for help and relief from the government to repair their homes, their cars, and settle with their insurance companies, the UCP. And I don't want any more Calgarians to live with the anxiety that their government might not step up to help them as they worry about extreme weather. Regardless of the outcome of this week, Calgarians and all Albertans deserve to know that their government will support them through this crisis. I'm not convinced the UCP are up for the job based on their previous record in Northeast Calgary and the fact that each and every day one of the UCP cabinet members seemed more focused on saving their own job rather than stepping up for Albertans. Albertans deserve better. If the UCP wants to show Calgarians and Albertans that they can be trusted to weather the storm, they must join us in our calls today to restore the trust of Calgarians, ease their worries, and
question goes to Rick. Rick, you're actually. Sorry, try to unmute one more time.
Trying it again. How is that?
We can hear you this time.
Okay, my apologies. I thought I hit that button, but I apologize. Kathleen or Irfan, can you document where the province has failed in flood preparedness up to this point?
Well, I don't think what we're talking about today is sort of failure in terms of preparedness. In fact, certainly I know when we were in government, we did a lot to ensure that we were prepared for a future such event. I think what we're asking today is for the province to sort of provide clear communication to a lot of Calgarians who are probably very, very worried, and we're asking them to make sure that they have measures in place, like mitigation funds in case evacuation is needed, or temporary berms or additional pumps. So at this point, what we're asking from the government is just to keep people informed and be ready.
Do you have a follow-up, Eric?
Thank you.
And seeing none, that's all for today.
Thanks so much for watching, and to learn more, check out albertasfuture.ca.